the actual red line defending.
I think it's like
people deluded. I'm back again. First things first, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night. Do me a favor and smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't. Now, where Arsenal's summer transfer window is concerned, it's like we never have a boring or dull day. It feels like we're never a week or two away from signing a new player. And as you can see here, one of the worst kept secrets of present with Arsenal is that we're trying to sign the Brentford keeper, David Raya. As you know, a player that Mikel Arteta has previously tried to sign for this football club. As you can see in front of me, The Athletic and every other news outlet has said Arsenal reached transfer agreement for Brentford goalkeeper David Raya. Arsenal have reached an agreement with Brentford for the signing of goalkeeper David Raya. The North London club have agreed to pay in the region of £30 million plus add-ons for the services of the 27-year-old. Raya is expected to sign a 5-year deal until 2028 with the option of a further year, so essentially a 6-year deal. It's also said The Athletic reported earlier this month that Arsenal had made an opening offer slightly below the sum Brentford was seeking, but negotiations continue between the clubs, and if all goes to plan, Raya will join Mikel Arteta's side. Bayern Munich had also been in the running for him, but he favoured a move to Arsenal, and he's set to be reignited with a former goalkeeping coach in Arsenal's Inaki Kaya. Arsenal want the Spain international, who had a year left on his contract at Brentford, to compete with current goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale. As you know, Raya played 38 games last season for Brentford. They had the 5th best defensive record, where they conceded 46 goals. Apparently, with Raya's transfer poised to be finalised, Nottingham Forest have reached an agreement to sign Matt Turner. Hopefully, he plays against us on Saturday and he forgets what team, or specifically his teammates, are, people. So one keeper in and next one out. As you know, David Raya was a player Mikel Arteta tried to sign, very much the modern goalkeeper, 27 years of age. For me personally, I'm happy with this deal firmly because, you know, they wanted 40 million. We're going to get him for a bit less. Some say late 20 odd million regions, rising to 30. He's a keeper that is closer in style to what Mikel Arteta demands as opposed to Matt Turner. He's someone that, you know, give or take, is in the same realm with Ramsdale of competition. Respectfully to Matt Turner, you know, as much as he trains and plays well, if Ramsdale has a blip, he's not really going to get in. Raya can come and compete at 27 years of age, having a cap or two for Spain. I very much doubt that, you know, he wants to sit on the bench. And also, what I think is good as well is that, you know, you've got a player Mikel Arteta identified for his system. We get a good player. We get a more competitive side. You know, Brentford have got, you know, decent money on a player that's made clear he doesn't want to stay. You know, he's turned down contract offers. His contract is running out. Again, in 6 months, he could agree a free move to a club abroad. So everybody's kind of a winner here. And ultimately, it gives us a more competitive squad. You've got him on a 5-year deal with the option of a further year. So that takes this guy well into, you know, his early for kind of 30. So we have a decent keeper in that regards, really. So bring it on. CBS has been speaking, and again, I've tried to kind of skim through the waffle, people, in relation to a lot of these things. Allegedly, Chelsea and Spurs were both expected to target Raya. The former in particular had personal terms lined up for the goalkeeper, but were unable to push the bees down on their 40 million price tag. So again, if you turn down, I don't know about Spurs, but Chelsea, London rivals, that should, you know, be a good omen, really and truly. And again, apparently conscious that in a year's time, Ivan Toney will be in the same situation. Brentford would not want to be seen as a club that will simply take whatever they get when one of their best players is in the final 12 months of his deal. And we got to remember, they signed him for Blackburn for £3 million. So this is a handsome profit, people, really and truly. Big him up. Arsenal ultimately have been able to conclude a deal at around 10 million less than the fee Brentford initially wanted. The 30 million going out of the club, offset in no part by the 7 million plus a further 3 million in add-ons that we'll get from Forest for Matt Turner. So again, 10 million for Matt Turner, a tiny bit of a profit on what we spent of him last year. Again, there's numerous reasons as to why, you know, Mr. Raya would be you know, convinced to sign for Arsenal. He knows the goalkeeping coach. He sees the exciting project. You know, he stays in London as well. And he should be believing that he can compete and maybe take Ramsdale's place. In the same way, I don't want Ramsdale to let go of his shirt early. You know, as much as I think Ramsdale is good, we saw last season, there were times he showed a bit of erraticness. That's the one thing I think David Raya has in his favour over him. But as you do with football fans, people are going to look at David Raya as a faultless individual with no faults of his own, firmly a shiny new toy, which is a bit disrespectful to Ramsdale. We don't need to put them against each other. We got to remember, It's all about the collective. It's all about Arsenal, just simply put, being a better club, people. Once again, we know Raya has worked with Inaki Kaya before. Sources close to negotiations, however, would suggest that this deal was about far more than resuming a professional relationship that lasted a little over 5 months before obviously Kaya joined Arteta at Arsenal. The first factor mentioned by sources is not the coaches but the project. As you know, we're trying to be a team that can compete, and apparently Mikel Arteta has been able to, convince him to join the club, which, I mean, Arsenal you don't need to be convinced on the club in general. Mikel Arteta, what more can he say? The great thing about football is everybody can see. Lip service doesn't go far, so you can see what Arsenal's doing. Come and join us, people. So yeah, big him up. And this is a man that wanted you, when we signed Ramsdale. So he knows how to improve you and all of these sort of things. So yeah, big him up for joining us, people. And obviously, we get a better keeper than Matt Turner, with the greatest of respect to him. And I just wonder, somebody has to be made clear that it's number 2, because we've been here with Emi Martinez, we've been here with Leno and Czech, we've been here with Ramsdale and Leno, we've seen it with Chelsea with Courtois and Czech, we've seen it with Dean Henderson and De Gea, and there's probably a bunch of other examples. You saw it with Keylor Navas and Donnarumma at Paris Saint-Germain. Although you look at Ortega and Edison, clearly Edison is better than him. Ortega has actually played well, and there were some moments City fans wanted him dropped, Edison, last season, and there was reports, ironically, that come out today that said, had Edison's performances not picked up in whatever period it's been, Pep Guardiola, apologies, was considering starting his second choice keeper at the start of the season, really. And as you know, he started, played the game against us in the Community Shield. So there we have it, people. So it is what it is. Romano's also doubled down and said Arsenal have reached an agreement. Personal terms were done last week. Documents are being prepared between the clubs. A medical is booked this week. Some say he'll do his medical on Wednesday, tomorrow, and complete the final formalities on Thursday, which the quicker we can get him in, the quicker he can train, the quicker he can be in contention for Arsenal's Premier League season. And in an ideal world, hopefully he's at least, maybe the Nottingham Forest game comes too early, but maybe he'll be on the bench for that game, because on paper, if Turner's going, Carl Hein will probably be that, or you'd imagine even he's allowed to go out on loan, and we'll sort out young Arthur Okonkwo. There's a lot of under-21s players that are in and around the first team, him, Norton Coffey, John Jules, Balogun, Patino, etc. Futures that need to be decided. Apparently the total package, Romano is saying, for David Raya will be close to 30 million, people. Apparently it will be clarified in the next few hours. He will join until June 2028. A medical will happen this week, and they signed him for £2.7 million from Blackburn. Having been in this country for a while, I think there's some similarities between Mikel Arteta's playing career, and also does he count as homegrown, which obviously helps us with registration. Daily Mail was spoken about and said once again he's already agreed personal terms, and he's set to undergo his medical this week before being unveiled. Once again, a 5-year deal until 2028. I can't find the comments, but I could find the video. Ramsdale's actually said bring it on, really, in relation to whoever Mikel Arteta wants to bring in, really. So yeah, he kept 12 clean sheets last season, 2 less than Ramsdale, which again, that shows we're quite aligned, people. He'll sign on a 5-year deal. His medical and contracts will be within the next 2 days, as you can see here, people. So by the end of the week, we'd assume he'd be here, people, and sign for Arsenal Football Club. What is this? Personal terms are agreed. We're repeating the same things at this moment in time. So yeah, people, it is what it is. And you saw Ramsdale's performance in the Community Shield. Moving away from that, apparently Real Sociedad, what started off as a rumor seems to be credible. The Athletic has said Real Sociedad are interested in Tierney, but Arsenal are hoping for a permanent deal. Real Sociedad are interested in signing Arsenal left-back Kieran Tierney on loan. As things stands, Arsenal would favour a permanent transfer or a loan with an obligation to buy if they're going to let Tierney go. The defender, who has also had interest from other clubs, has struggled for game time since the start of last season when Zinchenko came in. Now with Kirio, Timber, and Tomiyasu all at times being preferred to him, whether it's been starting in pre-season or last season at left back, Tierney's role seems to become obsolete. I hope he stays, because I think he's a good player for the squad. It does feel like the system is going past him, people. Last month, Tierney said, it's not really up to me. I'm happy. I'm working hard every day and getting minutes. I'm just trying to do as well as I can. No, I have not had conversations with Arteta. Things could have changed since then. You can't play every single game, every single season, every single year. I don't expect that. And I still made a lot of appearances last year. I was ready every game and working 100%. I think everyone in there would agree with that I never give less than that, whether I'm playing or not. In the games I did play, I tried to do my best for the team. I came off the bench a lot last season, whether that was to see out games or help get a goal. And you all remember, just a few years ago, he signed a new deal at Arsenal, was spoken about as a future captain. We all know Thomas Partey probably isn't going to join Juventus, but this was seen online anyways. Juventus consider Thomas Partey too expensive of a fee for a 30-year-old. So it looks like the Saudi moves are done. and Partey staying fit. We all know Balogun, 1 minute it's Inter Milan, then it's Monaco. They seem to be the two clubs heavily linked with him. West Ham apparently are keeping a fine eye. Matteo Bonetti has said Inter are fighting off Monaco to secure the signing of Balogun. The big difference being that Inter can offer Champions League football. As we know, he got 21 league goals last season, and I think 22 in all comps. Apparently, for some reason or another, we rejected at this moment in time Pepe's agent's attempts to rip up his deal for whatever reason. I kind of covered this in the live stream and the video I did earlier. Check that out, as well as smashing the like button and commenting and let me know your own thoughts. Arsenal now refusing to release Pepe as he seeks an exit from the club, allegedly, people. We'd have to see what's going on in that regards. We all know Besiktas apparently are the most likely suitors for the 28-year-old Ivory Coast international. And I'm sure Arsenal want to shave his 140 grand a week wages because he's not part of the team. And we're at where we're at with Pepe. We've signed new players to new deals. We're bringing in players, which is going to make our wage expenditure go up. We've got some players on healthy deals. Pepe, your money's irrelevant. It's not my money. Not that I have 140 grand in my account, let alone a week. But that's not how you run a business, really and truly. And if you're able to shave Matt Turner off the wage book, get Pepe off, get some more outgoings, it starts to make the balance sheet look a lot healthier. And maybe we can bring in another, let me know you lot's thoughts. But if we could, I would like another central midfielder. I wouldn't be against bringing in another winger. I would like another striker. If you can bring two of the three or one of the three, why not, people? But we seem to be developing quite a decent squad. So with that being said, let me know your thoughts on David Raya and Ramsdale's debate. Let me know your thoughts on both him as a player and if you think he'll be number one. Let me know your thoughts on the Pepe thing we just went over and anything else. Check out the rest of the other videos. But most importantly, I hope you and your loved ones stay blessed, stay safe, and I'll see you lot all again soon. One love.
Because you always use that active when defending.
I think it's like